The seventh way we can make communication our greatest asset is to see that truth is fluid, flexible, personal, and infinite. So we have some tools that we've developed in Wake the Talk Up, that we teach in our intensive online course that really show people how to dig into all these different aspects of what creates our truth, and really also helps us to realize like how many different truths there are, if for us at different places and times in our life, and for other people as well, which then engenders more spaciousness and creativity in order to and helps us really to go out and collect more information so that we might see how many different factors are making up our belief system, how many different factors are creating these like ties that we have to strategies and wants and requests and demands that we're making. So by being aware that all of these factors are coming in and creating our filter around our beliefs and our experiences, it creates more ease within us, and more ability to then take ownership and recognize our stories and all the things we get into the other parts of this series about our 8 ways of making communication our greatest asset.
As you're saying this, Allison, it's occurred to me that working with truth in this more fluid, flexible, personal way has released so much of the internalized pressure that I had to be on the right side of truth all the time. Whether it's, something like something big, like an intellectual debate about the best strategy for our business, or something innocuous and small, like, well, what was the schedule that we agreed to today? Whose memory is right here?
Yeah.
And being right all the time and being true is exhausting, and it's not a standard that really is indicative of our value and our worth. But
Yeah.
that's how, at least for me, prior to this work, that's how I related to truth. That the more true I was, the more good I am, the more valuable I am.
Right. And if you listen to our 6th way to make communication our greatest asset, we get more into this in depth, this concept of blame and shame and claiming our experience. So recognizing that truth is personal, infinite, flexible, and fluid is just another way to claim our own experience and claim not only one singular thread of our experience, but claiming that we have so many different threads, that it's never one thing that makes up our experience. And once we recognize that we have that, and that we don't have to be right in order to be good, that we can also see that someone else doesn't have to be wrong in order to meet us where we are, and that they have all these different threads going on to their experience, which can potentially create some compassion for us. And I'll say that one way that I've realized this manifests for me is in this current situation with the Ukraine and Russia. If movies and television and books that are about spies and wars and politics would tell us anything, it's that situations are continuously more complex than the general public knows. And one thing I've realized in myself is that I have this great desire now to learn more about the political history between these two countries, the cultural history between these two countries. I mean, I grew up in a time when the Soviet Union was a thing, and that I want to see how that evolution has shifted into this current evolution. I want to know, do other Russian civilians, how do they feel about it?
Yeah.
How do people that are also could be in power, but maybe not Putin, how do they feel about it in Russia? Like, is there a way that I can have empathy for both sides?
Yeah. I mean, this is the stuff of curiosity, essentially. Holding truth in this softer way is what allows us to be curious, to listen, to gather new information. And with that new information and insight about ourselves, about others, about external events, then we can creatively problem solve, right? Then we can bridge into worlds of understanding. But if we can only tap into, as Allison was talking about, the different threads, if we can only tap into this one thread, we're really limited in our options for ourselves, we're limiting the options for other people, and we're certainly limiting the options between us and how we can meet each other to move forward and do awesome things. That's what we want. We want to increase our optionality and increase our choice. You have to listen to one of our earlier what the fuck is with the tuck up videos about that.
Yeah, and if we get really curious about truth in quotes as a concept, that if we can get curious that truth is not a singular right or wrong, black or white, etched in stone meaning and concept, it just can open up so much possibility for us in terms of generosity and compassion and curiosity and choice, awareness.
Yeah. To others and to ourselves.
If this is exciting to you and you want to learn more, be sure to listen to our last WTF is WTTUs on Instagram or wherever you're seeing this series. And know that you can go and sign up for our free video download of the 8 ways to make communication your greatest asset. And that's just the tip of another big iceberg, which is the online intensive course. We're starting our next one May 6th. And its enrollment is still open. We have a limited space. So if you have any questions, contact Lauren or I. We would be happy to talk to you about the course. It's really wonderful. We would love to have you there.
Yeah. Check out our testimonials if you're not convinced. See you guys next week on What the Fuck is with the Tuck Up.